And we're back with another episode of the Bauer Hour. I'm your host, Jake Bauer, here with the lovely Courtney Moore out of the 269. Welcome in, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jake?
I'm doing good. Just down here enjoying a little sunny and 55 degrees December day in Charlotte. How's
Oh,
the
I'm so
winters treating you up
jealous.
in Michigan? Michigan
It's
winters aren't
freezing.
that pretty cold up there already or no?
Yeah, today was so cold. I mean, I'm always cold, but I think it was cold for most people today.
We're going to have to get you more south. We're going to have to get you a little bit more south.
Yeah, I'm trying.
So you just had your birthday, huh? Happy birthday. Happy belated.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 29.
29. Yes, I'm so excited.
Are you
I'm not
excited for 29?
Yeah, I'm not a person that's like, "Oh, I'm getting older." Like, I'm excited, especially next year. I'll be 30 on the 30th, so it's my golden birthday.
Oh,
So, I'm super excited to turn 30.
I've never heard anyone actually say that out loud to anybody. It's even
Yeah.
myself. 30 on 30 next year, the golden birthday. What are you trying to do? One of my friends is having her golden birthday this year. I think she's the December 27th, I think, but she's super stoked for hers. She's like, oh, this is my year. This
Yeah.
is my year. Which I get. I had my golden birthday when I turned 18.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
18. That's like a
great year.
milestone.
It
Yeah.
was my senior year of high school. Had a great time, a lot of
Yeah.
fun, a lot of good things happened that year. A lot of bad things did as well, but that's neither here nor
Life.
there. Yeah, life at 18 just wrecks you, especially when
Yeah.
you're like the only one of your friends that are 18. You're buying Black and Miles for everybody.
Not the blacks.
Oh, the blacks, the wood tip wines had the place going.
Gross.
It was terrible. It was real bad. What are you looking forward to this year, being 29? Since you're looking forward to 30, you got a whole 360 some days to get till
Yeah.
then. So what's going on?
I haven't really made a lot of plans for 29. I feel like every year I make a lot of plans for myself and then I let myself down. So I'm just kind of
No
going with
expectations for
yeah, no
29.
expectations other than like I really want to get like my finances really in line and my health. One of my like goals is to just be healthy, not even like weight loss or anything like that. I just want to like live a long healthy life. So I've been working towards that and then like getting my money right so I can move and
Right.
level
I
up,
feel like the misconception about being healthy is very, like you touched on, it's like it's not always about weight loss. Like, because
Yeah.
muscle weighs more than fat. So, like, if you're
Mhm.
a certain weight and you're like muscly, it's but like you're more healthy if you like are heavier. Like if you're,
Yeah.
you know, and I think people, especially on like the female side of things,
Mhm.
I think that's kind of changing now though in the world because a lot of girls are like
Yeah.
into the gym, they're hitting their hip thrusts, the
Yeah.
squats.
That's like the number one thing. Every girl in the gym is like hip thrusting like crazy.
Hey, you know what? The boys are here to support them.
I'm
We'll be here
sure.
for all the hip thrusts. We'll count them out. One, two. Well, you got one more in you. We'll be there for
Yeah.
that. We'll be the gym boyfriends and support you, even
Right.
though we probably don't know your name and we're probably too scared to talk to you at the gym. So,
Yeah, that's what you get a lot of weird stares, and I'm always like, is he staring because something's wrong, or are you trying to speak? I'm not gonna
have
speak
you ever had a guy
first.
come up to you at the gym?
Um, Not anyone that I would be interested in, like old men.
What do they say? Let's hear.
Like they'll
Let's
just be
hear.
like, "Oh, I see you in here a lot," or and then I'm creeped out. Now I gotta change my gym schedule because
You're
I
like,
ran
oh
into an
nope,
old
can't go on
professor
Monday,
there.
Wednesday. No more Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. You're back to like Tuesday, Thursday,
Yeah,
Sundays.
absolutely. Changing the time, everything. Might even go to a new gym.
Keeping the boys at Planet Fitness just on their toes. Keep them
Yeah.
guessing. Sheesh. Me and Buddy talked about this last episode. It was like that's kind of like hard to come up to. It's just somewhere you don't come up to a girl or a guy
Yeah.
in like most cases. It's like this their time and their peace. They're like trying to work on themselves. They're not like looking to
Yeah.
like do any of that,
Yeah. I
which I
mean,
get.
that's how I think like about men. I would love if someone came up to me that I was attracted to, but I'm always like I don't want to just go up to someone while they're working out like, they're this is their time away, but I feel like if you meet people, like when you meet people where they are, like that's something that they enjoy. So if you also enjoy going to the gym, meeting someone at the gym would be a good place because you both enjoy going to the gym. But
Right.
nobody wants to speak at the gym.
I feel like that must be the misconception on both ends because we're all like, you probably would enjoy it if someone came up to you, right?
Yeah, I
And
would.
just like, hey, I see you in here. Like, this is cool. Like, keep doing your thing. It's not like, oh, hey, like my name's Jake. Like, what's your number? Like,
Yeah,
if you just
yeah,
do it like as in like a friendship type of thing, and then you see him the next time, hey, what's
yeah.
up? What do you got today?
Levels,
Yeah, we got to work it up. Sometimes you don't have to shoot your shot right away.
right?
You know,
You gotta
trust the
warm up.
process. Trust the process. Just layup lines.
Yeah.
Just get a couple stretches in, and then 3, 4 weeks down the line, shoot your shot down.
You're in
Just
there.
pull up.
Yeah.
Probably get shot down, but hey,
Maybe not 4 weeks either.
is that too long?
That's a long build up.
Hey,
If a guy
suspense.
starts speaking to me at the gym and like a week, if he speaks to me every day at the gym, almost every day, and I'm gonna be like, dang, he must really just want to be my friend come week 3 because I feel like
Okay,
things.
so there's a time limit. There's a shot clock at the gym.
Yeah, definitely not a
There's a
month.
shot clock at the gym.
Yeah.
What is it like 3? Let's see.
I would say like I said, if we're speaking like if you say hi to me like every day and like we have conversations, I feel like by I don't know, I feel like week 3 would be appropriate to be like, so,
What do you do
you know.
outside of the gym?
Yeah, because if I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to be engaging like that in conversation. So if I'm
True.
continuing talking, then clearly I'm single. So
You would think.
yeah, I guess that's just me. That's not everybody.
Yeah. It's a crazy world out here.
It really is.
Do you have any music plans going on this year or what's going on with that? Will let you know. Go follow Courtney Moore on Spotify. His song Selfish. Girls, I think you might be down for this one. I
Thank
play
you.
it
Thank
sometimes
you.
and I'm just chilling in my car by myself.
It can be for both sides, men, women, anyone.
Hey,
You never
it
know.
can be. I'm a fan. I'll like I said, I bump it every once in a while. But you have anything coming up? Do you have any songs written down? What's going on?
I do. So I had writer's block for the longest time. I mean, like, it's been a while since I've completed a song. I have tons of notes like in my phone where I like started writing a song. But last week I finally finished 2 songs. Um, had some inspiration and I found a bunch of old songs that I wrote. So I feel like I want to do an album for 30. Um,
Hey,
yeah. So.
what inspiration? You said you found some inspiration. What was it? Like when you're in that writer's block, what is it?
Well, it's really circumstantial inspirations. I the person's probably I don't know not gonna listen to this because they don't have me on social media. So even when I share it, but I met this guy at the bar and it was like the best experience of my life. So I wrote a song about him.
No, you didn't.
I did. Actually 2. And I so now that I'm saying this out loud, I hope he does not see this or hear this.
Hey, I
Selfishly,
hope he
sorry, Jake.
does. I hope he
Yeah.
does.
He's gonna be like, that girl's crazy.
I
Um,
mean, I would if some girl was like, "Oh, wrote a song about you," kind of be maybe a yellow flag, maybe a beige flag,
yeah.
but I don't think it'd be a red flag.
Okay, okay. Well, he listened to my music and he asked, like we were talking about it and he said like he noticed that I don't have like a lot of love songs like about being in love and I just said, I haven't really had any inspiration for that. Um so that's why I don't have any. But then now I wrote this song inspired by him. So um
Oh,
we'll
we
see
ain't gonna
we'll
say
see
no
if that
names
comes
out
out.
here. We ain't saying
Yeah.
no names out here.
None, none. Um, I think I
Wow.
jinxed it
Hey,
though. I feel like vibes have shifted. So
wrote the love song and he was just like ghosted you.
yeah, I'm gonna
Name
set
in
it.
his
I
phone
did
is
start writing
Casper.
another song. The other
Yeah.
song I started writing by him was not a love song.
Song
So
title. Song title. Casper.
yeah, yeah, text me back, please.
Text me back, please. Will you text me back? Leave me on red. Brutal. Hey, but that's how it goes sometimes. And were you in Kalamazoo?
Yeah, I was.
I'm gonna
Um,
circle back to dating in our hometowns,
uh,
but I have to ask you, we're like talking about music and like making it. Someone asked on Instagram when I said I was going to be talking with you. They said the question was, "Is the music industry as slimy as it seems as a female artist?"
oh, absolutely. And I haven't even branched outside of like the Kalamazoo area. I've had I had one guy, he was supposed to write do an album for me. This was before my second album. I paid him $600, which is like that's cheap. I know it's cheap
Mm-hmm.
for the beats, and he was gonna help me write. But like he named the price, and I was like, okay, like yeah. Um, he didn't end up doing the album for me. Blocked me on everything. Took my money. Um, and this is someone that a lot of people that I know also know. One day I'll put him on blast on everything. Just haven't decided how I'm
Yeah.
going to do it yet.
Right.
Um, so that didn't happen. Another guy, I flew out to LA a couple years ago in May, um, and to do two music videos. He was having a deal, it was during COVID, so he was doing like $350 music videos or $300 videos or something like that. And my one of my best friends lives in LA, so I was like, oh cool, I can go visit my best friend and do this music video. And he's like has a good following, so it just seemed like perfect. Get there, do the music video, um, and then he sends me like it took him forever to give me the music video back, and then when he finally did, it was not good quality. His finger was like in the clip, and so I told him he only gave me one of them, and I was like, hey, like this isn't good
This
quality,
isn't what
like
I was looking for.
no. So he was like, okay, I'll fix it. Never fixed it, never sent it back. I don't even have that version of the video. Another $600 gone. And both
Damn.
of these situations seem to happen like after I like wouldn't go on a date with them. Um,
Oh.
and that's what seems to happen a lot. So I take my brother with me places a lot. One of my friends that writes helps me write. I take him with me a lot because I feel like if I have a man with me, that it won't happen as much. But still, it is very slimy. Even like I said, even in underground music where you're not even with like labels, it's so hard to be a female
That's sad.
artist. Yeah, it
That's
sucks.
really sad.
Yeah.
Like just because you didn't go out on a date with them, they're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, thanks
Yeah.
for paying me to do what I was my job, but you won't sleep with me," basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like,
So,
"Well, that's not what I signed up to do, bud. If
not
I
at
needed
all.
that, I wouldn't have paid you. I wouldn't have had to pay you to do that."
Right. Right. And like I'm someone who's like, I want to pay artists their worth. So if you feel like you wanted $600 for one music video, I would have paid that. You know, you like, if you set the bar, then I'll meet you there. And so, like, I've had people say, you know, because it's expensive. So, I've had someone say like they do a music video for me for $1,000 and they would set me up like because they knew who I was that they would do a payment plan, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want any deals. Like treat me like anyone else because just because of the experiences I've had in the past, like I want to pay whatever everyone else pays. Don't give me any special treatment because I don't want anyone to say like I owe them or anything like
Yeah,
that.
that's like the worst
Especially
feeling
men.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a big person and like I hate owing people money. And a lot of my
Yeah.
friends will tell you I wouldn't. There's times where I'm like, no, I'm not paying for everything. I'll Venmo you
Yeah.
because I hate paying for everything and then asking people to Venmo me. And that's
Yeah,
just
same.
me personally. I'm just like I'm someone who hates owing people money. Um, and it's some people just kind of forget, and I get that. But I'm just like the same as you. I'm like, I don't want to owe you anything. I don't want you to come back and, especially in this case, like, oh, you still owe me $400 or let's go on a date type of deal,
Yeah,
which it sounds
yeah.
like that probably could happen often.
Right. Yeah, and it does, unfortunately.
And why is that? Why is that such like a stigma in that music industry? And as a
I
woman,
don't know.
how do you
And when it
like,
happens, I'm like, first of all, I mean, I would never say never, but I would like to think I would not do that. And second of all, who do you think you are? Like, you are not Swiss Beats. You are not like any big name. You think I'm gonna just sleep with you for some Kalamazoo exposure? Hell, I mean,
nah,
oops, heck no.
You're like, yeah, sorry, that's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, like who do you think you are?
You are putting me on the market. Like you're literally putting me in Kalamazoo where I'm already located.
At yeah.
And if you're like putting me on, I mean, it's not really up to the level that you think you are, bud.
Yeah.
So some sorry,
Let's be
insert
humble
name
here.
here.
Yeah. Humble
Let's just
yourself.
humble yourself. Do you think that I mean, since you stayed in Kalamazoo area, you're born and raised there, has it been hard? Because a lot of like as myself, I left. A lot of people I like have on the podcast have left and like have stories of leaving home. What's it been like still being there? Is it like harder to date, so to speak, or like get out of that person you were when you were 21 compared to 29? Like, do you still have that?
Um,
I wouldn't say stigma, but do people still correlate you with what you're doing at 21 or 22?
I don't think so. A lot of people that knew me or like know me, like you said, they don't live here anymore, so that makes it kind of easier. Like my best friend now, I've been friends with her for like 6 years, and I met her at work. So I don't have like people here, so kind of me being here, I'm still able to like branch out because I don't have like that comfort of like my friends that don't live here.
Yeah, like you're
One of
like
my
you don't have a
oldest,
bunch of like high school friends still or like
yeah, like I
college
have one
friends.
friend from high school and middle school, and she lives in Tampa. So like
Yeah,
it's not
shout
like
out
I have,
Bree.
yeah, shout out Bree. So it's not like I have anyone here to like just be stuck and comfortable. I don't
Hmm.
intend on staying here. I do have family, and that makes it harder with the comfort level because I'm so close to my family. But I still meet new people. Like anytime I do a show or a performance, I'm always meeting new people that I've never seen before. And like my hometown, Three Rivers, um, they every year there's a show, Watershed Voice. Shout out to them. They do a showcase every summer, and I go and do that. And I always find new people there that have never heard my music before, and that's like in the town that I grew up in.
Right.
So, um, it's small, but there's always different people. And
That makes sense.
yeah.
Especially like leaving, you like look back and you're like, man, that was such a small place. Like, but
Hmm.
you, like you said, people leave and people come. And I feel like sometimes when I go home, I mean, I've been gone for a while, but it's like, man, I don't know anybody here anymore.
Yeah.
Which in your case would be like nice, especially if you're trying to date and, or if you are trying to date, I don't know if you are, but are you trying
Well,
to
I would
date?
say dating is different.
Yeah. What's the dating life like out there?
Dating here sucks. I would not. I I have. I feel like I would never date someone that I knew, like from Three Rivers, from my hometown, um, because like anyone that would be my age man that's been here, I would know who they were, and I just don't think that I would be interested. Um, Kalamazoo. I mean, I feel like it's pretty similar. Everyone is connected somehow. But I mean, I've recently broadened my horizon when it comes to dating, so that's been a different
What does that mean? You're okay. Just for reference here, Kalamazoo, Michigan is about 50,000, 100,000 people, maybe. I don't know.
I have
Pretty
no clue.
smallish.
Yeah.
Town Three Rivers is probably 15,000. Pretty small communities.
Yeah.
And when you're like from there and you grow up there, everyone kind of intertwines. So it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to gravitate towards something that no one knows you, and you're like, oh, I'm Courtney Moore, 29 years old, instead of like, oh, you're Courtney Moore from Three Rivers. Oh, you played basketball at Glen Oaks. Oh, like,
Yeah.
and then they know your whole history, and you're like, well, shit, how am I gonna?
Hmm.
I don't need you to know that already. I'm trying to
Yeah. Like,
like,
what are you gonna get to know about me now? Yeah.
yeah, and so that's hard. And I sometimes I think about how different it would be if I end up dating someone I knew from way back when I was in Kalamazoo in June. I was back home before I moved down to Charlotte, and I was at a bar called the Beer Exchange. They do it's like the stock market for beers, right? And the bartender like looks super familiar, and I'm like, At one point, probably 3 beers in, I'm like, I'm like,
Confidence is high.
confidence is through the roof. I'm just like on a pedestal. I'm like one of your producer friends, just thought I was the man.
Ew.
And I'm like, hey, what's your name? She's like, Jay. Okay, I'm not gonna say any names. That was crazy of me.
Yeah,
Um,
wow.
yeah, crazy. She said her name, and I'm like, wait, what? It was a girl that I knew when I was a freshman in high school that played softball at a like one of the teams in our conference that we were like homies with, like they were like softball team. I was like, wait, did you play softball here? And then she's like, yeah. How do you know that? I was like, I went to Constantine and we played. She's like, yeah, like I know who you are. I was like, oh shit. And it was weird because
Yeah.
this girl moved like the next year and moved out like out west and then came back home. So it's like you like run into these people that you don't know, but then you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like how? How in the
Hmm.
fuck do I know you from 15 years ago?
How do you remember that?
I I remember a lot of stuff like that. I'm really good with
Yeah.
names. Like I'll remember somebody that graduated in 2003 from Constantine and be like, oh yeah, I know him. Or it's just like, why do you know who that is? No idea. But great girl, great bartender. I'd go back to the beer exchange again.
Shout out
It
Beer
was funny.
Exchange.
Yeah. Shout out beer exchange. So when you're dating, since I mean, elephant in the room right now is you're a single mother chasing her dreams as a music artist, which has to be a great juggling act.
Yeah.
I mean, some would say you could be in the circus juggling both of those.
It's pretty comparable. About the same.
So your son's what now? 7.
Yeah, he just turned 7 in November.
So if people are good at math out there, she was 22,
I was 21 when I had him and
21.
then turned 22.
Okay, 21 and
Yeah.
22. Young mother, not as young as most would think, right? I mean,
Yeah.
back in the days, 21, 22, you were had a house in
Whole
the
family.
pasture,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. So, what was it like when did you realize your like life changed right when you found out you were pregnant and about to have a baby? Like, what was that feeling like? What emotions were running through you?
So when I found out I was pregnant, I was like freaking out. So
As one would
a
do.
lot of people, the rumor mill always is turning, but my son was actually planned. So
Oh,
my
really?
son's dad, I was in college playing basketball, and he asked me if I would have a child, and of course, stupidly, not regretfully, but stupidly, I was like, okay.
Y'all were trying
I
to
also
have
had a
them
lot of
NBA babies. Oh,
yeah, yeah. I said that's what I was thinking, but I also had a lot of family stuff going on at the time. My parents were getting a divorce. It was just a rough time in my life, so I was like, okay, I'm moving home. I'm gonna try to get pregnant. And then I was like not getting pregnant. I was like, is something wrong with me? Like, do I need to go get checked out? And then the day that I found out I was pregnant, um, myself and my son's dad actually broke up that day.
no.
Like we broke up. He has another child, an older daughter. We had her visiting with us. I was at work, found out some shit, and we broke up that day. And I was like, we're taking your daughter home, all the way back to Chicago. So we're broken up, driving all the way back to Chicago, and I'm like hysterical. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I cannot stop crying. Like, I know I'm upset, but dang, like, this is a bit
You were
much.
emotional,
I
emotional.
was, yeah. So I was like, I'm about to take a pregnancy test. And I hadn't like had, my period or anything. So it all just kind of like clicked. And sure enough, I was pregnant. And I was
Man,
like, this is the worst possible time. All this time we were trying. Excuse me. I found out some horrible information today, broke up, and now I'm pregnant. Like, what am I going to do? And of course, he didn't believe me because he thought that I
you
was
were
trying to
trying to
be
hold him.
like,
You were like trying to trap
yeah,
him.
like you need to change. I look at this pregnancy test, and he was like, send me a picture with you in it. And so then I did, um, and then
And he
like we
was
got
like, I'm
back.
not changing.
Yeah, well, he didn't. He said he was. Red flag.
Actions speak louder than
Yeah,
words.
red flag. So then we ended up after about a week. we ended up getting back together. Um,
What was his?
and
What was the plea? Because all girls, all guys go through this when they go through a breakup. Someone wants to get back together,
um,
and they're like, "I promise, I promise." What was the plea?
it wasn't that there wasn't a plea this time. This time it was me, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm not
repeat
having this.
offender, folks.
Yeah,
Repeat offender.
red flag. If they say it'll never happen again, it will. Um,
Courtney's like one of those bulls with the red flag, just woo,
yeah, that's what I
woo.
should have seen. I didn't see it. Um,
She is
it was
colorblind,
me, and
doesn't
I
see the
was,
color red.
yeah, not at all. I just see neutrals. Everyone deserves a chance. So I was just like, listen, I'm not doing this by myself. So you need to get your shit together and we're going to be together. And he at first he was like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to do this just because we're having a baby." And I was like, "Yeah. but
Second,
you need to get it together. Like I'm not doing this by myself.
he's probably said
You
that before. I think
huh?
he's probably said that before.
Yeah, right?" So, I'm like, it's a little too late. This was your idea. Get it together. And so then he was just like, okay, and we were back together. Um,
Just like that.
just like that. And I thought it was going to be smooth sailing from there. And
Off into the sunset they go.
yeah, this was actually just the beginning. This was the smoothest sailing of the next years of my life. So
So
I
I
was
would,
terrified, but then excited.
for sure. I mean, and then now you have a beautiful baby boy
Yeah.
named Kobe.
Kobe, Kobe,
K
born
O B
on
E.
the 8th.
He's the man. I've met
Yeah.
Kobe a couple times, and he's the homie.
Yeah,
I will
he
say
loves
this
Jake.
has nothing to do with my previous comments about my son being named Jacoby, but Courtney has nothing to do with it. It was I was gonna do that before I met her and met her son, but I mean, did you hear the last podcast when I was like, "Oh, the
Yeah,
first
I
date crush"?
did. And I think I remember you saying that to me before.
Yeah, I'm like, which is crazy for me to think that someone would just. I actually went to a basketball game last night with a friend who a girl I met through a friend. Um, and it was just like a little like platonic little thing. Um, but I did throw out the question,
Oh, of course you
and guess
did.
what she said?
She said, yeah.
She said yes, and then I started
Hey,
thinking maybe this isn't platonic.
maybe not.
So where do I sign? Not
Okay,
that.
this is it.
Drop everything. Run.
You're blocked.
Yeah, it was pretty classic, but she said yes, which I mean, okay, cool. We can go on a second date, I guess. I guess it's not too platonic after all.
Little
But
does she know.
little does she know that was actually a big question.
Yeah, there was a lot of weight behind that.
There's a lot of weight. There's pressure to that one. There's pressure. Well, I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm getting sidetracked here, like usual. Just a random tangent about 30 minutes into a conversation. Well, so you have your son. You and baby daddy are not together,
Mm-mm. No.
right?
No.
So I'm sure there's some single moms out there, people who've been through a little something, something in their life. How do you handle? How'd you handle this? You guys broke up. You know, it was probably a crazy time. You probably went ballistic. Maybe some would say crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe some would say
Yeah.
he was crazy. But that's neither here nor there. What was it like when you started having a co-parent?
Well, the fun thing about that was I was
There's
just
no
thrown right
co.
there was no code. It was just parent. So it was simple. There was no, well, I want him this weekend. I want him this holiday. Guess what? I get all the holidays. So,
Oh
I
man.
I actually was talking to some coworkers about it today. And she just was like, I don't understand how you do it. She's married and has a daughter. Um, and there's a knock on my door. And she's like, I don't know how you do it. Like you do it all by yourself. Um, and I just said, I've never known any other way. Like I've only ever parented by myself. So I've never, um,
How to do the co-parenting
I've
thing,
never had to share. I don't know what it's like to not do it 100% of the time.
right? What's some advice if what someone knocking on your door? What's going on over there? You got a little late night
Yes.
visitor?
Yeah, speaking of the child.
Oh, Kobe.
Yes.
Oh, dude, what a we didn't even plan this. What a
We had strict
great intro.
instructions. Do not come in here for an hour.
Oh, Kobe's in the building, folks. Bring Kobe on.
He just wants a kiss and a hug. Come give me a
We'll give
kiss
him
and
a
a hug
kiss and
and
a
then
hug. Tell
go.
him say what's up to the camera.
And then go. Give me a kiss and a hug.
That's big Kobe right there. That's good, Kobe. The hair is phenomenal. I'll tell you that.
Where's my kiss since you wanted a kiss and a hug? Love you.
This is wholesome here, folks. You would think I would have planned this. I did not.
I planned the opposite, actually.
Yeah,
Okay,
Kobe,
remember what
you're
we
the
talked
man.
about? What? About you staying downstairs. I'm almost done.
I miss you.
I miss you too. Go get a cookie.
I wanna finish my Lego set, but it's a piece missing.
Okay, I'll come help you. Love you.
Love you too.
Close my door all the way, please. Definitely thought he was
Folks,
asleep.
this might just be one of the best things. The kid's missing a Lego for his Lego set.
I'm
He
so
missed his mom. It was
embarrassed.
30 minutes. The kid just loves it. He's a mama's boy. This is right back to what we were talking about. She doesn't know anything else, folks. She doesn't know anything else. The big boy Cobes mama's boy. Automatic. Chalk it
Yeah,
up for
didn't get a
dubs to all those
choice.
single moms. He has no choice. He
Doesn't
has
know
no
me and that's pretty
choice.
different.
Wow, that was awesome. I love that. I just got the audio for that too. We're gonna clip
Oh,
that.
I'm
We're
glad
gonna
you loved
clip
it.
that. Oh, I loved it. Look at you all
I'm,
embarrassed. She's turning
I'm
red.
sweating instantly.
Well, yeah, you're wearing a
Um,
turtleneck.
well, I told you I'm always cold, and I'm in
I'm
my
just
I'm in my
messing.
house. When I first
I'm
started,
just
my feet were
messing.
freezing. Now I'm like dripping from my hands.
What kind of advice would you give say your 21-year-old self? What advice would you be giving us? If you were to
Um,
go back and talk to yourself
if
to
I could go back, I talk about this a lot with people. Um, again, I do not regret, obviously, because I have a beautiful child and I love him and he's incredible. However, if I could be guaranteed to have this same child at 25, I would go back and tell my 21-year-old self, do not move home. I was living in St. Louis playing basketball, NAIA D2 basketball, and I gave it all up to have a child. So if I could go back, I would finish, um, and then I would have him later if I could, if in a perfect world, if I was able to do that.
if you could
Um,
clone him and make sure it was the
yeah,
same kid.
yeah. And then even if I couldn't do that, like I wish that I would have left that relationship the day that like when it first happened. Like when I found out, I wish I would have just from day one been like, I'm doing this by myself.
Hmm.
You can co-parent or not. And I think that would have saved me like a lot of heartache because my pregnancy was um it was really hard, and then the we were still together for another um like I think Kobe was 6 months when I finally left him. And it was just miserable. And like looking back, I would have saved myself a lot of heartache and been
Yeah.
able to move on sooner.
Well, I
So,
feel like obviously I wouldn't know, but from what I've heard from my friends that are pregnant, friends that have been pregnant, it's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of
yeah.
emotion. If you're dealing with something that's not stable,
Hmm.
it's gonna be. I can't imagine what that
Yeah.
was like. Trying to handle what I'm growing a human inside of me, and you're out here fucking around, being
Yeah.
a delinquent, a degenerate,
Yeah.
a deadbeat, and a
Lots
loser.
of these.
Sorry, I'm not gonna
That's
go
okay.
off on the guy, but not a huge fan.
Yeah. Understandable.
I mean, that's fair. Doesn't sound like a great guy to anyone else listening, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying with the fans. I'm live streaming. They're popping up everywhere. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It was um it was like a lot of people talk about postpartum depression and stuff like that, and I never experienced that. And I always wonder if it was because like I was so depressed like initially if I just didn't
Hmm.
even have like the
You
mom
already had
blues. Like
postpartum.
having, yeah, like
It was
having
pre-partum.
Kobe, yeah, pardon. Having Kobe really was the only thing that kept me going. So, like, because I was so depressed and so sad and down and like my life sucks, it's terrible. And then I had this beautiful child who always wanted to be with me. It really just like brought me out of that and kind of made me be like, okay, what kind of life do I want to show him? How do I want him to treat women? How do I want him to think? What do I like? How do I want to show love? Like what was going on in our house was not love, and I didn't want him to think that this is how you love someone.
Right.
So that was what like ultimately brought me out of it and got me where I
It like
needed to
it kind
go.
of gave you like a new purpose.
Yeah,
Like not
yeah,
new, but like it made you feel a sense of purpose. Like okay,
yeah,
I'm raising this child into at some point an adult. How
mhm,
is he gonna be? And I had to be my best
yeah,
for him, right?
mhm. And those
Which is,
first
I mean, that
years are so important of a child's life. Like whatever they see and absorb, like that makes them who they are.
yeah, because isn't it like the first couple years they're just like mimicking?
Yeah, everything. They're like sponges. They just take it all in and then become who they're going to be.
Did you have a moment at any point when you were like, oh shit, he's gonna see that, or like he saw
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, lots of them. I I mean really ultimately the last uh thing that happened, I was like I'm not doing this. I was raising a child in a house with someone else there. And it was challenging. I was working full time, 40 plus hours a week teaching 5-year-olds and then coming home and parenting, cooking dinner, doing laundry for 3 people, cooking for 3 people, doing everything by myself. And it literally was like the saying like I can do bad all by myself. Like you're not bringing any value to this, and you're hurting me, you're breaking me down. I was just thinking about today like cycles of abuse and what abuse looks like, and I really was just like there's parts of my life that I don't remember what happened because I was so manipulated. Like I don't know what was the truth, what was not the truth, were these my thoughts, were these not my thoughts. And it really just made me be like holy crap, there's chunks of 3 years that I'm just like I don't know what was going on, and I don't know what I was doing, what was real, what wasn't real. And I'm
Damn, that's
glad that,
crazy.
yeah, it's scary to think back and be like I don't know if that actually happened, I don't know if that didn't happen,
Yeah,
in terms of
it's all
things that
just.
I did.
Is it kind of just like you have like this like playing in your head of like something that you think is has happened, or like something
Yeah.
that you went through and you're like, wait,
Well, like things have come up that I forgot about because they were so bad and traumatic. And so, like, now I'm able to talk about it because one, I didn't remember that it happened. And then, like, I'll remember that this happened, this whatever it was. And then I'm like, holy crap, I completely blocked that out of my memory. Or there's like times where I just remember like getting in fights and saying like, well, you said you were going to be home at this time. And then he would be like, no, I didn't. I never said that. And so then I'd be like,
it was
oh,
gaslighting.
100%. So there's so many of those where I'm just like, I don't know what happened. I'm sure
And I
I
feel
was
like
always
that's
probably what the truth was because I had no
right.
reason to lie. I was at home with a freaking baby.
I feel like that happens a lot in this day and age of the gaslighting and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. And I mean, I don't know more on either side or everyone's just equally gaslighting, but the whole manipulation game of dating and everything is it's kind of insane. Like if you're doing that
Yeah.
now, I'm like, I'm good. Like if you can't communicate with
Yeah.
me a certain way and you're like, I had this girl tell me, she told me that I never asked anything about her. And I was like, what? I'm like, that's all I do.
Yeah. I
Like
was gonna say that doesn't sound
what
like you at all.
yeah, and I was like, that's crazy. So I literally like didn't talk to her like ever again really. But I'm like,
Good.
people be gaslighting out of like for no reason.
For no
Like
reason. Yeah. Or like the whole toxic culture. Like I toxic is not anything that I'm interested in. The
Toxic is
moment,
not cool, folks.
no, like
It's
we're
called toxic
adults.
for a reason.
Yeah, and the moment that someone like fixes their lips to say like, "Oh, you didn't do this," or like even like the um something I hate huge, especially when people don't know me. Like you and I have known each other for like 10 years, 10 plus years. If you were like, "Hey, big head," I'd be like, "Okay, Jake." Like we're on
Yeah.
that level. But when a guy is like trying to flirt with me and that's the first thing you say to me, I'm not 16. Like that is not something that I'm gonna be like, "Oh, he's so funny." Like
He's
I'm actually really
hilarious.
insecure. Yeah, like I'm really insecure about that. So instant block. Someone just did this to me like a week ago on Snapchat.
No. No.
Yes.
They
I
say, "What's
just
up, big head?"
yes. And I was like, okay, like hit me with, hey, you are so beautiful. I love your eyes. I love your like that's what I want to hear.
Anything.
Like an actual compliment. I don't care for the other stuff. I'm an
We're
adult.
not like in preschool. I'm not pushing you over to flirt with you.
Yeah,
We're
don't
good.
chase me around the playground. Like
No.
what are
We're
your
not playing
feelings?
tag.
Yeah.
Just tell me what it
And
is,
that goes
and here we go.
yeah. And that goes with the toxic culture like that oh, I'm going to show up at his house or whatever. Like the moment I feel the need to like look in my partner's phone, that's it. The relationship's over. Like
It's done.
if I even if I don't do it, if I'm like I want to look in his phone so bad, clearly some trust has been broken somewhere or I'm not in a secure place to be in a relationship and I'm just that's it. It's like this whole toxic, oh yeah, I look at my man's phone or I
What do
track
you
where
say
he
to your friends?
goes.
What do you say if I came up to you and I was like, "Yeah, I was looking through my girl's phone the other day." What would you say to me?
I would be like, your relationship is over. You're
Yeah,
done. Like,
it's trash.
you
Put it in the
can't, there's
recycling
no
bin.
going back. Yeah. Not only have you broken that person's trust, but also like, it's like you're always going to want to know more. It's never going to be enough. Now you're going to want to look through their social media. Now you're going to want to have a fly on the wall or put a bug in their car. Like, it's never going to
Oh shit!
be.
She went the bug in the car.
I've never done that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's and that's not to say that I've never done some toxic stuff because in that relationship, I was 21, but I definitely
You get a pass at
I
21.
huh? Yeah,
You get a
yeah, a little
pass at
bit.
21.
A little bit. I do remember probably the craziest thing, or one of the crazy things I did. I bought him these Jordans. And I threw him. We got in this huge fight, and I threw him out the window of the car. And then I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
wait. I was like, wait. I bought those. I put
Oh,
the
you
car in reverse and
skirt.
picked him back up. Like, but like that
You
was
you you
obviously
literally hit the rewind button. You're like, "Oh no."
literally because wait a minute, I paid for that. But at 29, if you're still doing that stuff, you should take a step back. One thing that I will say, and you brought up like my friend, if what I would say to my friends or whatever, but one thing that I feel that I've done different than a lot of people do after that relationship, I mean, I've still been single. It's been we 6.5 years.
God
Um,
damn.
yeah. I mean, I've
I'm
dated.
just kidding. I've been single
Shut up.
too, and I haven't got a kid.
Like I've dated and I had what I like a boyfriend. I mean, I wouldn't even call it that. It was super short term, but I took 2 to 3 years of just being alone. It was miserable. It was lonely. I went to therapy. I was alone, cried a lot. But
Which is
I
okay.
feel, which is okay.
It's okay.
But I feel that is what really helped me get to where I'm at now, where I'm like, I'm not going to accept anything. I worked on the things that I needed to work on. And I felt it wasn't fair. If I started dating someone 6 months after that relationship, it would not be fair to the whoever I was dating because I was not healed and nobody wants to date someone who's not healed. So like I was like, I can't date someone and expect them to give me their all and I'm super broken. Like that
Hmm.
wouldn't be fair. And I see so many people do that, get out of a relationship, a 2, 3, 4 year long relationship, and jump right into something. And then, of course, a year and a half down the line, they break up with that relationship. And I'm no relationship
Serial
expert.
relationships.
Yeah,
Serial.
I'm no
Yep.
expert. However, I do understand mental health and understand self love and how you should like being lonely is important. being alone and being with yourself is so important, because if you don't know what you want, if you don't know what you're willing to accept, you'll accept anything. And people deserve to be treated more than just anything, you know?
Hmm. I definitely agree with that. And like as I've gotten on older and whatever, I haven't been dating really. Especially I was in Tahoe, had a situationship um, for a year almost. We went to Ireland together. Great girl, super
Ireland.
toxic. I wasn't the
Oh,
best in many aspects, but she was a serial like relationship person. Um, and I get that. And I also like looking back on it. I've had this talk with one of my homies who was good friends with out there. I was like, dude, why'd you let me do that? He goes, bro, I told you. You just didn't listen to me. I'm like,
yeah.
and it's crazy because it's like, in that sense, and this is a question, do you, for you, after I says, every time, like, she would like meet somebody or like meet a guy like that was like friends, like he wanted to be friends, he wanted to do whatever, and they're like, oh, he's a nice guy, like we're just friends. And every person I like this happened with, and I was like, no, like someone left her a queen of hearts on her car windshield and was like, you deserve blah blah blah. And I was like, well, he's into you, like. And she's
Yeah.
like, no, we're just friends. The dude bought her Nikes for Christmas, and me and her were hanging out, and then like stayed the night at this house. She was like house sitting on the couch. And then I'm like, what? How do you not see this as a problem? She's like, we're just friends. I'm like, that he wants to fuck you. Like, we're
Yeah.
not just friends.
100%.
Me and her break everything off. 2, 3 weeks later, her and this guy are just like hand in hand, basically like dating. And this happened like with probably 4 to 5 people. Like there was instances where they took a path after I was like, they'd want to be more than friends with you. They took it past the friendship. Like she's dating a guy now who I was like, oh, you're gonna end up dating him. And like there was times where I said that to her. I was like, you're gonna go out with him, you're gonna go hook up with him, you're gonna do this. And she ended up doing it. I'm like, I read you like a book. But
Yeah.
put myself in that position. Super toxic. Not great for the
Yeah.
not great for the well being. Boy was stressed out. It wasn't good. Tahoe was a small place, not many options up there for the boys. But wouldn't take anything back. Learned a lot. Back to why I said it. You have standards now.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it all back. We're
I
circling back.
definitely do. Yeah. It makes you, going through that makes you definitely have standards. And
You're
I
like,
mean, people
oh,
tell me
red
all the time that,
flag.
like, what?
You're like, oh, red flag.
Yeah,
Can't do this.
absolutely. Yeah.
What are your red
But
flags? Let's get in the red flags real quick. Just
red
give me a red flag. If
flags.
I do something on a first date, you're like, oh, nah, this ain't it.
Doesn't pay for the first date.
Oh,
Red
what?
flag.
Okay, that's
I,
completely
I'm
fair.
I'm and I'm not someone like, I don't need you to pay for the entire relationship. However, I do feel if you ask me on a date that and we go like get drinks or whatever, I do feel
You're laying
like
down.
that's like, not everyone is like that, but that's my thing. Like, for me, if the first date, if you don't pay for the first date or show any type of effort for the first date, then clearly you're not that into me.
Mm-hmm.
Um I mean, and I would love to wine and dine my man once he's my man.
Oh,
Or even like I would
anyone
totally
listening out there,
but listen, I'm not nobody's
once
sugar
you get their
mama, so
finances up
no.
in
Yeah.
30.
2025, I got you.
Yeah, 2025. Don't ask before and don't ask after. Just that year.
But yeah, I feel like that would be um
It's a
a
flex.
first date red flag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a flex to pay for your man's, not the flex for the man not to pay.
Yeah, no, I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy not paying on the first date is kind of crazy to me. I mean, guys, if you don't want to pay for the first date, do something else. Go for coffee.
Yeah, and I
Cost you
don't need you
15
to take
bucks,
me,
maybe 12.
absolutely. You don't even have to
Don't get
take
the
me
extra
like,
shot of espresso. Don't worry about
I
it. Go on
that's
a
and
walk.
something. Exactly. That's something that I do. I try because I hate sitting there and being like, is he gonna pay? I hate that shit. Like, I hate it. So I try to
It
make, like, if a guy asks me on a first date, I try to be like, let's go kayaking at my mom's lake, or like let's do something where you don't have to pay, so we can just see like if the vibes are vibing.
Are there, yeah. Because there
Yeah,
has been times where you're like, man, not me personally, but I know people, but like, man, the vibe sucked. Like, I don't even
yeah,
want to pay for this girl. She sucked. Well,
yeah,
homie, you should have known that by the first or second
yeah.
drink
And I
before you
would say
got
I
to
feel like
dinner.
even if the vibes suck, I feel like the gentlemanly thing to do would just be like
Well,
pay
you
for the
put
date,
yourself
and
in
then
this.
afterwards just say like, hey, thanks for going to dinner with me or whatever. I just don't feel like we have a lot in common. Boom. That's an adult thing to do. Like that is
Adult
what
thing.
adults should do.
And I'm all for it.
But
I've actually come to realize this. You just can't go out to dinner every first date, guys. You can't.
no,
I don't if you're in the
no.
dating world, you're on Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, I don't care what you're on. If you're meeting people in the wild, better I'm happy for you. But any first dates and you're going to dinner every time, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, don't
Unless
do
you're over here
that.
making seven figures, I don't know
And
what you
not
don't.
everybody is a dinner date girl. Like,
No, no, no. Not everyone's a dinner date girl, and you got to weed them out. Not everyone's a
yeah,
dinner date guy. You got to weed them out.
that neither.
You go to coffee, you'll learn in 10 minutes if you can stand this person because
Yeah.
at dinner, you're like, okay, I got to have a couple cocktails in me, got to have some wine, and
Yeah.
then everything's
Yeah,
flowing.
it's a fat bill.
Yeah, everything's flowing too. You're just like, yeah, you're awesome, you're great. Next thing you know, you're like sober with her for 15 minutes, and you're like,
You're like, fuck.
holy shit,
This
the
girl
girl
sucks. No
can't fucking put a
personality.
sentence together. This is tough. I don't know that from experience.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of my friends told me that story.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I felt his name was Jacoby.
Alter ego.
No, but I told my friends, I was like, hey, if you're dating, just don't. Oh, actually, a lot of my friends are married and in serious relationships or have kids. So, but some of my single friends, I'm like, hey, you can't do the dates anymore like that, man. You can't do dinner. You can't go to sushi. You're not doing this twice a week, and you've never
Twice a
been on a
week.
second date. I
Serial
can't tell you. I've
daters.
been on a second date maybe I don't even know 3 to 4 times in 6 months.
Wow, you're
Times are
doing better
tough
than
out
me.
here.
So,
Times are tough. The economy is bad. You know what I'm saying? Interest rates are up. What's
yeah, I
When's the last time you were on a date? You have any good dating stories for me before we kind of wrap this up in 15 minutes?
good dating stories. I actually just went on like one of the best dates in my life.
Oh
The
goodness.
one
Let me get out my pad of paper.
the one that I
The one you wrote a
met at
song
the bar.
about?
Yes,
Okay, we're
swept
okay,
me off my feet.
real quick. Where did the
Okay,
guy you met at the bar who wrote 2 songs about? Where'd he take you? What'd he do?
we went to sushi. We got sushi.
Of course.
The most impressive part about all of this is we met at the bar. I was lit. Um, and I just tried to say bye to him. I told him that I was really attracted to him, and then I was like, okay, well, I have to go. And then he was like, well, don't you want my number? And I was like, oh yeah. So then he put his number in my phone, first and last name, and then icing on the cake, took a picture of us together, stored it in my phone, and I just
As the
was in love
contact
from
info?
with yes, which also helped when I woke up the next morning because I didn't hardly remember too much.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, it's a fun time. And then that Tuesday, so that was Saturday, then Tuesday we went. He was like, "Let's go get lunch." So we went and got sushi. The date was going so great that he asked if I wanted to go get coffee afterwards, so we did.
Wait, coffee and then
No
or
sushi, then
sushi then
sushi.
coffee?
Yeah,
It sounds
just
like
to
a
get
bathroom break in about 30 minutes.
just to yeah, right. Just to continue the date, you know. Also, I'm on crutches at this time.
What a guy.
Super not.
I just picture you just getting like limped.
Yeah, it was
Ar-
so bad.
Arm over the shoulder, just like you could roll your ankle coming off the court.
Yeah,
Coach on
it
both
was
arms.
embarrassing to say the least.
Hey,
Then
good guy.
after that, he asked if he could see me again later that day, even more. So then we hung out again. So
Wait,
this
wait,
was
wait, wait. Did I just hear that you guys pulled a triple shifter in the same day?
yes, you did, and you see why the song is written about him. Okay, I'm just really confused here now. Swept me off my feet.
I mean, I
Um,
don't. What I'm baffled, folks.
So here you
His
go,
one-time dick
Jake. If
power
you
is
want to win a
speechless
girl
to say
over,
it.
if
Ask
you're
her to
trying
hang
to
out
win
three
someone
times.
over, fellas.
I would feel like I was like very needy.
No, it was just like the conversation was so good and we just were having such a good time. Like neither one of us wanted it to be, over. So we
Okay.
just and I was never gonna ask because I'm a chicken. So I was ecstatic that he asked. And this is like the only second date that I've gotten in a long time. And so then
Well, it was actually the third date in the same day, but that's
yeah.
neither here nor
No, no,
there.
no. I'm saying after that day is over, I saw him again afterwards.
Oh,
So
okay.
um
What'd you guys do on that date? Was it your birthday? Well, huh?
actually yes it was.
We got her. The birthday
We
boy. Bop,
just
bop,
hung
bop.
out
Yeah,
and
you guys had a birthday party. You guys running out some spa, huh?
yeah, that was not on my actual birthday though.
Oh,
But
okay.
I did rent a party place for my birthday. Um yeah, I'm a little
Okay. I
flustered.
gotta you're getting a little hot in the hot and bothered talking
Yeah,
about
you, you threw
the
me
three
off
dates
with
in one
that.
day. I'm getting hot and bothered too. Jesus. Wish
Gosh.
I want to. If any woman out there is listening to this, I'll go out to sushi, then coffee, and then a little cuddle session for a little movie night. Watch Home Alone 2. It's Christmas season, folks.
It's perfect day.
Perfect day.
Perfect
I
day.
haven't even watched Home Alone yet. It's the
You're
12th.
slacking.
I am. So I got another question here. Let me get to it here. Actually, should we get to the segment of hot takes with Jake?
All right, let's get to it, I guess.
Okay, let's go. So this is our favorite part of the podcast, folks. Hot Jakes with takes. Nah. Hot takes with Jake. We're back with the hot takes with Jake, and here we go. Let's what do we got for us? What do you got for us? You want me to go first, or you want to
Yeah,
go
you go
first?
first. I don't know that mine's such a great hot take. Will you go first?
There's not a bad hot take. My hot take this morning for the podcast was, if you're an adult, you should never ever order a frozen drink, an alcoholic beverage, if you're not at a pool or on the beach. Why?
Why? Yes,
Because
why?
you're not by the pool or at the beach. You're in
Okay.
fucking Kalamazoo, Michigan, and it's 2 degrees out, and you're ordering a pina colada at Applebee's. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that
That
was
is
my hot
so
take this morning.
specific.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, been there, done that.
Okay.
But that was the hot take this morning. But I kind of switched it up. Kind of referenced it earlier. There's a shot clock with dating. Dating shot clock. My dating shot clock is 2 dates. So you have 2 dates to me to vibe with you a certain part, like a certain a certain level in depth. It's like we go to dinner, then we go to a sporting event, or you get in 2 different environments and 2 different dates. That's when you know if you're with somebody. Because if you're just going out to dinner, everyone's going to love each other at dinner. You have some wine, you get wine and dine. Sporting event, same thing. You have one activity that's out and about, and then you have like a park date. You got to
Okay.
have a sober date. If you don't have a sober date,
Yeah.
then that's a problem. So that's my shot clock. Dating shot clock is 2 dates. If
Okay.
we have 3 dates and it's still not going well, it just is what it
That's
is.
it.
Trust me, I've been there. I was there a couple months ago. Went on a couple, 3, 4 dates,
Yikes.
and I was like trying, but no. Now I'm down to 2. 2 date shot clock. Stop wasting our times, folks.
That's fair.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
What would you say your shot clock is? 3 in one day?
Yeah, the bar is set so high now, fellas.
Yeah. You're like,
If
oh
this
yeah,
doesn't work out with
one day.
I, with my guy here, I would love to name drop. Um, if you
Don't do
can't
it.
bring me 3 dates in 3 dates in one day, then no,
Swipe
I'm kidding.
left.
Yeah, instant swipe left. First question. So, how many dates are we gonna go on in one day? I don't know. I would say probably about the same. I haven't been on a second date. Like this guy is the first guy that I like after the first date, things were still going well, and then um like we've continued to talk. So I'm not.
So you guys are still
I'm.
vibing.
I hope so till this week, but he does have finals, so
Oh
he's not
wait,
a
he's still
child
in
neither.
school.
He's not a child. He's
Oh, the
going
boy
to
went
get.
straight. I forget.
He's going to
He's
get a
wearing
nice
pull-ups too.
degree.
What?
Going to school for exercise science. So
Okay, so we got ourselves maybe a little doctor on our hands,
yeah,
huh? Yeah,
we
cross the
hope.
fingers. Cross them.
um,
It's 11
so
11.
I'm
Make a
just.
wish.
It's not. It's 11.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So I'm trying to not be so in my head about it, but
So
yeah,
two dates is
I feel
you
like
have a
two
shot
dates.
clock as well.
Yeah, I feel like the first date, like you said, like we're getting to know each other. The second date is like really okay. What are you
Can we
like?
hang out?
Yeah, can we spend? Because like, I mean, I've had bad first dates where I literally just stared
You're like
and
pulling teeth. You're like, oh my
ended up
god.
dating the guy. So gosh,
Ah.
I gotta stop saying stuff because he follows me on everything.
Well, look, Courtney's just exposing
Yikes.
all the
I'm not
old
saying
boys.
names, so
Yeah, don't say the names.
yeah.
Don't say the
I would
names.
say two
So,
dates is good.
well, confirmed and verified. Shot clock, 2 dates for the dating. Dating shot clock is 2 dates. If you're waiting
Yep.
a little bit longer than that, you're wasting your time
Almost done.
Yes,
as an
Courtney.
adult.
Yeah,
What's your hot take?
my hot take, I
What's the
just
hot
lost it.
take
What
with
was it?
Jay?
Oh, okay, my hot take. Again, back to the we're adults. We're dating as adults. Ghosting is the rudest thing in the world. And I'm so tired of it. I'm guilty of having ghosted, but
Sounds like
not
a hypocrite to me.
not recently. Not recently. Um it, like it's just I feel very like I said earlier, you could simply just say like, "Hey, I'm just not really feeling this anymore. I don't mean any harm by this. Like I just like you're a great person. I just don't think that we're a good match." And I don't think that that is if we can't take that
If you
conversation
can't
that
tell me that, you're not gonna be able to tell me anything.
exactly. And I just think it's so rude to ghost people in this day and age, and especially like when I'm gonna bump into you in public because I'm
Yeah,
going to make it uncomfortable and speak to you and be like, "Why did you ghost me?"
Courtney, how many unread text messages do you have? Oh, oh, oh,
A lot of
got
them
her.
are a lot of them are group chats,
Okay, that's
I
fair.
think. Um
Well, I agree with that. The
okay,
ghosting thing
ghosting
is,
is different than like if I give someone my number at the bar and then you blow me up all the next day, "Hello, hello, why aren't you texting me back?"
I
I'm never
mean,
going to text you back probably.
nah. What's the so real quick on your hot take? The ghosting thing, we don't
Mhm.
need to do it, folks. It's not how it's made out to be. No one really cares if you text them back or not. But we do, but we also don't. It's like it's not the end of the world. Just be an adult and shows that you have a little bit of maturity and communication skills.
Yeah. So
Because if not, I'm sorry
respect.
for the next girl or guy that you start dating.
Yeah. Shows your communication skills are zero.
Lacking communication skills, 3. Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys. You guys got to do better. Got Big Kobe in the back. Big Kobe. Kobe, you got to go to bed, homie. I
Thought he was
love
asleep
that.
down
We got
there.
the little homie he's popping into the pod, folks. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We got
you're
him in the
gassing him up, Jake.
pod. We got him in the pod. I did have something to say when you were talking about the ghosting. God, I totally
Sit down.
spaced on it. I should
Sit
have made
down.
a note
It's
of
not.
it, but it's all good. I totally spaced on it. I didn't want to interrupt you, when you were talking about it.
Oh, you should have.
Have you been ghosted recently? Is this a little something?
I
How do you deal with
have, and
ghosts? Actually, how do you deal with ghosts?
um,
For all the girls out there, how does one deal with a ghost?
what do you mean? Like, how do I handle it afterwards?
Yeah, what if they ghost you for a week and then they hit you back up like, hey, what's up?
Oh, see, I wouldn't consider that ghosting. I mean, I guess kind of.
I mean,
It
what do
is
you call it
ghosting.
then?
I'm gonna say, and I'm going to bring it up and be like, "Why are you texting me and you didn't even reply to the last message?" Or like, if someone texts me back, because I'm guilty of this, and says like, oh my gosh, I totally didn't think that you texted me back. I've done that before. Someone that I was actually interested in, the day got away from me and I thought he didn't text me back. And then I go to the message to text him and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't text
Still
him
in the
back for
draft.
4 days. Then I'm, yeah, still, yeah, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know you're probably not going to believe this, but I really did not mean to not do that. So, like that.
That's
But if you're
fair.
just like, oh, I got busy, or oh, like, communication. Like if you can't say, "Hey, I have finals this week. I'm probably going to be really busy." Like that is it's so simple to say something like that.
Yeah,
The
it is.
last guy that ghosted me, ironically, I was I literally had a draft in my notes of what how I was going to end this situation with him. I was like, I just wasn't interested in him anymore. I knew he was really interested in me, and I just wasn't as interested as he was, and had the draft, sent it to my friend. I was like, this is what I'm going to say to him. I have to end this. This is something I wanted to end for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And my friend was like, Courtney, if you don't end this now, it's going to get bad. So the day that I was going to send him this mature adult message on how I just didn't wasn't interested in him anymore, I'm guessing he picked up on my vibes because I was pretty stale. He just
Mercury was
never
in
texted me back.
retrograde.
Yeah, I was just like, yep. Okay. I mean, I wasn't a bitch, but I was definitely not like as flirty or anything. I'm sure he picked up on the vibes. But instead of doing the mature thing and being like, "Hey, is something going on? Like I feel like your vibes have been off lately. Just don't text me back." And then I saw him in person like 2 days later.
Oh,
At,
we gotta love it. Gotta love
so,
it. So, hot take: don't be a ghost, folks. That's what it
yeah,
comes down to. Just be
grow up.
mature, communicate a little bit, grow up.
Hmm.
If the date sucked, tell them. Maybe not tell them. Just tell them it's not gonna work out,
Yeah, yeah,
or
maybe don't
her,
hurt their feelings.
whatever. And don't go Dutch on the first date, boys.
Please.
Unless she asks you out on a date, then you can do whatever you want.
Even then, if I ask the date and you agree, and it's our first time meeting, I'm not paying for that shit. We will be dining. We will be dining and dashing. You hear me? And
Dining
I
and
will leave.
dashing.
I
That'd
will
be a
leave your
fun first
name
date.
and number.
That's spontaneous. That's spontaneous. We kind of like spontaneous. Well, before we head off here, I appreciate you, you know, sharing your story and what you got going on, and kind of for those single mothers and young mothers, people trying to get in the music world. It's kind of something we don't hear a lot about. There's not too many people out there telling their story and having people being able to relate to. So that's got to be hard. And I appreciate you coming on here and sharing that with us. Is there any quick words of advice you got to all those young ladies out there dealing with some bullshit with the parenting thing, or maybe going through a hard time relationship wise?
I would just say like trust your gut, trust your intuition. If you think something is going on, or you think something isn't right, like you even if something's not going on and you're just like not in it anymore, it's okay to not be in that relationship. It's okay to part ways. It's okay to do all of those things. Don't be afraid to be alone. I think that's the biggest thing that people, men and women, are afraid to be alone. But like I said earlier, that's where I did the most healing, the most soul searching, and the most growth was like when I was truly by myself and down bad. I appreciate those moments now. So,
Well, we
and
love that.
if you need a little something to relate to, you can just listen to my music and it is very relatable for
Which
single
what
women.
what's it on Spotify?
It's on everything: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube,
Okay, okay,
Bandcamp,
we're gonna.
Amazon.
Oh shit, we got all platforms for Courtney Moore's music. We'll
That's
definitely be
right.
putting that link in the episode. I also have a quick comment. I touched on all the questions that were asked on social media today. I just kind of just didn't stop and take the time to tell you that they were from social media. But I do have one that is just not a question, but it's just a
Okay.
comment. All single moms are superheroes. That's
Aw.
what someone said, and we appreciate you for saying that. And
Oh,
I'm
thanks to
sure
whoever that was.
all the moms, all the moms out there will appreciate it as well. Um,
Yes.
so I hope everyone enjoyed the episode. We'll be putting Courtney's social media and all of her artist links in the episode, and like, follow, subscribe. Leave us a little fun review. It's the Bauer Hour Podcast, and then you can find us on the Bauer Hour Podcast on Instagram and the Bauer Hour Podcast on TikTok as well. I think it's the Bauer Hour Podcast on TikTok. TikTok's not my world, man. It's not
I'll have to help you out.
It's
with
just
the
a
TikTok.
Bauer Hour. Just a Bauer Hour on TikTok, folks. Bauer Hour Podcast on Instagram. But, Courtney Moore, thank you again. Inspiring artist, single
Jake.
mother. Thank you for doing all that you do. And Kobe's a lucky little guy having you in his life.
Thanks, Jake, for having me. He did. He's smiling.
Okay, good. All right, we're out.
All right.